All right, well, I just started the recording, so I'm gonna get going here. And I think there's maybe one or two other people joining, so I'll try to keep an eye on the waiting room. So today, after a session I did last week on recording lessons kind of more in general and covered recording lessons in Zoom, and then also recording lessons a couple other ways. A couple staff members requested that I kind of focus in on specifically Zoom, and then also how to upload videos to YouTube, since that was something I explained kind of quickly last week, and also going over just even setting up your YouTube account, and especially setting up a YouTube account with your RSU39 email address, because that's what I did. And also I've been back and forth with Lisa Milliard, and she's just kind of like a little unrelated to this, but is asking everyone to make sure they're using their RSU39 email for their YouTube account, because we all do have that capability. So my plan is to first go over the piece about recording lessons in Zoom, and then I'll go over the YouTube part. I just want to say that double checking the box here. Okay, I think we're good for, sorry, participants. So I just want to say that it was a little tricky I was thinking about this actually even last week. I said to Twyla, I said, well, maybe I'll lead this session in the Schoology video conferencing app, so that I could show Zoom from that one, if that makes any sense. But just in terms of recording this session and sharing it, Zoom really does work better. So I am going to, so I'm hoping my internet connection stays okay. So please, if I'm cutting out, please let me know in the chat box, or out loud. And so anyway, so long story short, oh, sorry, I see someone is here in the, waiting to join. So long story short, I'm doing this through Zoom, but I took a whole bunch of screenshots the other day when I was prepping for this, to kind of show literally step by step how to record a lesson in Zoom. So I'm first going to go over that, and it's just with this presentation, and I'm recording it, and I'll share the actual Google slideshow as well after this, in addition to the recording. So it should be easy to kind of go back and do that, if or review it if you need to. You can try it kind of now on the side maybe. I'm not positive if you're even able to do that in another Zoom window or maybe on another device. So the first step, and I just basically did it step by step, is you start on the Zoom homepage. And for me, since in my Mac, this is what it looks like. And so this is what it looks like when I first click on the little Zoom icon at the bottom of my screen. But I want to navigate over to this meetings link. So that's why I have that highlighted. And this is to record a lesson where it would just be me in the Zoom meeting. So it's not really a meeting. And so like you see over here, I have scheduled lessons, but that's not what I'm starting or doing anything with. I'm just here in my personal meeting ID, clicking start. So I'm just opening a Zoom meeting all by myself, basically. And so that's where I'd go, once I get into this meetings tab, I'd click on start. And then once I'm in, sorry, I had a child tapping on the window. Once I'm in, I would click record. So there's kind of two ways to do this, and I'm showing you, this is like what I just did. I had screen shared because I knew I wanted to share this presentation. So I screen shared, and then I kind of hover over the top of the screen above where it says you are screen sharing and stop share. This panel will pop up. And if you click on the three dots under more, that's where the record button is. So, you know, again, it's just me in the meeting all by myself, but I'm just recording myself too. And, you know, there's these other options if I wanted to hide the video panel of myself or anything, I could do that as well. But that's the big thing, is knowing where record is. And then once I've gone through my presentation, I would just go back to that same spot and click the stop recording. So pretty straightforward, but say I was just in the meeting without sharing anything on my screen and just wanted to, you know, share something that I'm holding up, or just talk to the students about something, or do a mini lesson that doesn't require me to share my screen, and I'm just in kind of the main Zoom room. It's just along the very bottom of the screen is where those buttons to start and stop the recording are. And you can even pause it too, which is nice. So if you wanted to pause.
Maureen, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so during the presenting part, like if I want to do this for a math class,
Yep.
and I have to do the math on the board, do I just aim my computer screen to my whiteboard? How do they see my screen? Because right now, all we can do is we see each other's faces. But how can they see what I'm actually doing on the board?
Well,
or can they?
I mean, there's two options. So under screen share, so if I were, you know, under, at the bottom of my Zoom screen, I have the option to share my screen. And within that, there's the whiteboard option, like this, you know, kind of on the computer whiteboard option.
Yeah. But is there a way of them actually seeing a real whiteboard behind me that you are just working on?
Yeah, I mean, literally, I could just go like that. Say I had a whiteboard right here, I could just turn my computer and do that. So that's, you know, definitely an option. And I see here a message from Karen. You're asking about different types of meetings. And no, it's really just, you know, there's just kind of the one type of meetings, but it's just to create your lesson with just you. You can just click on that where I showed here. Let me go back.
Maureen, if you turned your computer to see the whiteboard though, would everything be backwards?
That's a really good question. So that is something I showed last week in the session I did, where, and I can reshare that presentation with anyone who's here today who wasn't here last week, because I can't really go up and show you right now. But if you were to go, here, I'm gonna stop showing my screen, at least as big. If I'm in Zoom, in the Zoom, let's see, actually, let me do something where I'm gonna share my whole desktop. So hopefully you can see a little more in this. So hopefully right now you're seeing this Zoom meeting info. And then up in the very, very upper left-hand corner of my screen near the apple, there's the zoom.us. And under that, in preferences, and again, maybe someone can let me know if you can see any of this on my screen right now. If I click preferences, and then under video, oh, and I just happen to have a book near me. I was showing this last week, how like right now, this book looks like this, but if I were to click under my video, mirror my video, it would be backwards. So basically just need to make sure.
Maureen,
Yes?
it's Twilight. Like I just see your your desktop. I don't see this book that you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, so, and this I maybe will show in the video that I'm recording. I'm not positive. But
Okay.
I think it's because I'm in Zoom. I can't show you, like, any of my Zoom pieces aren't probably showing on screen. But there is an,
Oh, okay.
I'll take a screenshot right now so I can share this as well. Maybe? A sec. Okay, I'm taking a screenshot of myself. And then I'm going to show what it looks like the other way. There's this little checkbox that needs to be unclicked so that you things are not backwards. And again, I can reshare that in what I shared I did last week. So hopefully that piece makes sense. Sorry, I'm just waiting for this to reload. Sorry, just a sec here. My Google Doc is taking a little while to load, so I'm going to stop sharing for a second, make sure I'm all set. Oh, okay. I see why.
Is your internet working okay?
Not great. Yeah, can you get them off?
They are off. They've been off. Except
Oh, okay.
the lagging.
Still lagging, yeah. Sorry, we're dealing with three different devices in our house, all being used right now. 2 for meetings. Our internet is lagging a little. So here I'm going to go back to where I was at with this, and my apologies if it is lagging. So after screen sharing, and it looked like there was a comment from, I just want to go back and make sure that question was answered up here in the chat box. So, okay. So Twyla, to answer your question, if it's not clear, if the record button, if you just want the kids to see us or something you have in your hand, so that's at the bottom of your screen. So like this was if I was sharing my screen where there's that little, but this is kind of what the very bottom of my screen looks like if I'm not sharing. There's the option to share my screen. There's that place where you can do the little hand clap reaction, like the thumbs up or the clap. And then here's where there's the stop and start recording. So this, I was kind of in the midst of recording when I took this picture, but if I hadn't started it yet, it would just be the option to record. And now that it's in the middle of recording, there's the option to stop it or pause it. And then as soon as I end the meeting, this is what will pop up. So it converts the meeting to a recording, and depending on how long the meeting is, it may take a few minutes, not more than probably 5 minutes. And then once it's done converting, it just automatically, at least on my computer, it will look like this. Under Documents, there's a Zoom folder that I didn't create. It's just there. It's like Zoom automatically created it when I first recorded. These are all, since I got my new computer a week or 2 ago, these are all the meetings I've recorded. So the most recent one, and it's by date, is down here. And then the actual MP4, which is, you know, the actual video, not just like the audio or the other piece. The actual full video is this zoom_0.mp4. And sorry, I didn't mean to click forward yet. And so that's the file that I will upload to YouTube. And this little window pops up automatically for me when my video is done converting. So once it is done with this, and it gets to 100%, it'll just automatically pop up with this without the red circles or ovals, but just to highlight those pieces, I did circle them. And then the next kind of big step is where I go to YouTube and upload it. So I can, oh, I see there's maybe some questions. So I'm gonna check the chat here real quick. Yeah, absolutely, Lisa. You should be able to change the name before uploading. However, I'm also going to show you in YouTube how in YouTube you can, even if the actual file name still is that zoom_0, in YouTube you can change the title of the YouTube video. So, so then I'm just going to kind of quickly go over this piece here, but then I'll show how to create the YouTube account. So, oh, sorry, I'm jumping around accidentally. There we go. So once I'm on just YouTube's homepage, and I already have an account, so I would already be able to upload videos. And once you set up an account, which should be very easy with your Google email address through the RSU, I'm going to click on this little icon, sorry, with the plus sign. And then underneath that, once I click the little plus sign, these are actually two separate pictures. I hope it's not confusing in this. So once I click that plus sign, this is the little menu that pops up underneath. And you can either go live or you can upload a video. And so then I click on the upload video. And then that's where I will see this pop up right after I click upload video. Let's see, it even says up here, upload videos. And I have the option to either drag and drop the video file to this. You just kind of literally drag, you know, click on the file name and drag it over here. Or I can click on that select files blue box and kind of go through the more manual finding of the file by going to the documents and then the Zoom folder and then the, you know, today's date and then the actual little Zoom, that zoom_0.mp4. And then once I do that, that's where I was saying, Lisa, to answer your question, like you can, you know, actually change the file name, but here you can just change the YouTube title. So if you know, because it'll automatically upload as the file name, Zoom0, but that's where I can change it to whatever I want. And the file name over here, I think will still say that file name, but the title will be whatever you choose. And then this is just basically kind of going through these 3 steps in YouTube. After you title it, then you scroll down on that same menu and it won't even let you go kind of to the next page, which I'll show you in a minute in YouTube, until you've selected an audience. And as I mentioned last week in my training, I personally always, especially on my RSU account, always default to yes, it's made for kids. Even these trainings I'm doing with colleagues, I always just say yes, it's made for kids. And that the big thing with that is it shuts off, I believe, the commenting. So, which isn't a big deal, but you know, so kids can't comment on videos. And then also for, you know, a parent doing a search wouldn't come up with, or a kid doing a search hopefully wouldn't come across anything inappropriate. And then I click through to the next menu. So I was just in the details section. And then after I've changed my title and decided if it's, what audience it's for, the kids or not kids, then it will take me to the video elements page, and I don't actually do anything on this page. I think you can do different things down here. I know you can do different things down here, but I've never had a need to. So I just click over here on the bottom of the screen, the blue next button. And then that'll take me to the last visibility. Oh, sorry. And this is where I decide how to publish. And I always do unlisted or public. Private, just my little bit of experience with doing private, I don't recommend, because you really can't share it with anyone from my experience, unless I wanted to just pull it up on my own computer to show someone. I can't even share a link with anyone for that type of video. So unlisted is just if it was kind of for a small audience and I didn't want to have it kind of searchable on YouTube, and public is, anyone can search it if they're looking for information about that topic. And I didn't go over this on here, but you can schedule it if for some reason it was something you didn't want to be, shared that day. You could schedule it for a later date. And the whole kind of way through this process, as you're navigating through YouTube, you will see it slowly down here. It says this video, as I was taking these screenshots, was 68% uploaded. So it'll kind of slowly upload depending on the length of the video. It'll take a longer, shorter amount of time. But regardless of the upload process or progress, you can just click save down here and it'll finish doing its upload even after you've gone through these steps. And this box will pop up after you've gone through those 3 steps. It'll keep showing its upload progress. And you can click close even if it's not done uploading. And it'll just, kind of in the background keep, it says right here, I will highlight that it says to keep that browser tab open until the uploading completes, but you don't have to keep that little box up. You can close that box. And
Maureen, this is Jen. Do you know what the copyright rule is for reading a picture book online like this? Doing a video of reading a picture book?
Good question. I don't honestly know for sure. And I don't, so that might be a one where the copyright rules maybe are fine if it's unlisted and you're just doing it for a private, just your class basically, versus sharing it publicly. So
Jen, at the beginning of all of this COVID stuff, the publishers did send out copyright infringement, go ahead, read it kind of thing for a short time. I'm not sure if that's still in play or not, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if Lisa sent it out to us, but yeah, I can look into it and I'll do my best to find out an answer. But it had all kinds of publishers who said that it was okay to go ahead and read to your class online. But I don't know, like I said, if it was a short time frame, but I will check into it.
awesome. Thanks for the info, Heidi, because yeah, that's a really good question. I did not know for sure. But once you closed out of that last box, this is what the screen you'll see. And any videos that I save and create in YouTube, or upload to YouTube, will be listed. And this one is the top one on my list because it's the most recent. But that's where, it was just a 1-minute recording, but that's where it will show up. And then up here across the top in the orange text here, you see, click on the 3 dots to see these options. So I don't know if it showed here. So it doesn't show here, I think, because it was still processing, but there, and I'll show you again in YouTube in a minute, but there's 3 dots to the right over here once it is done processing. And if you click on those 3 dots, this is the little menu that comes up. So this is where you can change things or like delete, get a shareable link, edit it, delete it, download it. So, and that's, you know, kind of the end of where I would be done. And then I can just use the link. If I'm like for on Schoology, I can embed it in a page on Schoology, or I can, you know, put it in a Google Classroom. I can send it the link in an email. So there's lots of ways to then share that. So that's kind of the very step-by-step, but still quick overview of how to record lessons in Zoom and then upload them to YouTube. Because like to try to send that whole file, especially if it's more than just a minute or two, just to try to, without uploading it to YouTube, or you could probably, I'm sure you could upload it to Google if you prefer, or I mean to Google Drive if you prefer, but my go-to is YouTube because those links work, I find, the best. So before I jump into YouTube, are there any questions about just the recording in Zoom, or any of that?
Maureen,
Yes.
I'm curious, when you compare this to the videos you did in the like Screencast-O-Matic or the other one, do you think that's easier? This is easier, Zoom video recording?
Well, I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on what you're using it for. I think Zoom is pretty good for like with the whiteboard if you wanted to use that piece. And if you're more comfortable with that, but I actually kind of prefer the screencast. Partly because if I need to have a picture of or a video of myself kind of down in the corner, and I want to be sharing information on the like on my screen presentation or something, I can have both.
Okay.
And so yeah, there's pluses and minuses. Plus, the nice thing about Screencast-O-Matic and Screencastify are you can upload directly to YouTube from those, where you don't have to kind of go through a little bit more of those YouTube steps I just showed you. So I guess if I had to answer that question, I would say the screencasts I prefer. But I also don't have as much of a need for using like the whiteboard. And I'm really familiar with the screencast. If I wasn't familiar with the screencast, I just was newer to all of this, and Zoom I had used before, I'd maybe feel more comfortable with Zoom. So, all right. Well, I will, unless anyone jumps in with a question here now, start sharing my screen again and share the whole YouTube process. Okay, so setting up an account on YouTube. Okay, don't mind all my tabs open. So I am signed out, and I mean, you can even try this on your own right now in another, or in a window if you want. And so I'm not 100% sure what it will look like on anyone's end who has not set up an account before, just because it was a while ago I set this account up. But here, if you just go to the YouTube homepage, and then are in sign in, or over the sign in, if I didn't have an account, and I did actually create a little video last week, which I can resend, of how I went into an account. So it just kind of immediately logged me in. But if I didn't have an account, here, I'll sign out, at least fully sign out. So I'm going to click sign in. So it should just kind of take you to your Google, you know, like if you're signing into Google Drive or anything else that you use your RSU39 email address, it should just give you that option. So if anyone else has tried it recently or is trying it right now, if you want to just let me know. But so once you've done, you know, these steps of signing in, I have my password saved.
Maureen,
Yes?
can you tell me, I don't know if anybody else could do this, but you say that we can open up a window and try this along with you, but I don't seem to be able to know how to do that. Like all I see right now is what you're sharing on the screen.
Well, if you go up to the left-hand corner of your Zoom screen,
Correct?
and kind of hover over there, you should have the option, instead of being in a full screen, you should, if those three dots, like the red, yellow, and green, do you have the options to?
Got it. Thank you.
If you click the green one, it should, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then so once you're signed in, and it should just be as easy as signing into your RSU39 Google account. I have a lot more options under here when I click on the M for my account. But when I first created this, I know there were just a couple options because I didn't have, I think it said, you know, create your channel instead of your channel, or YouTube Studio. So these are kind of the two big ones I would get familiar with, are your channel and YouTube Studio. So if I go to YouTube Studio, this is what will pop up. And, you know, this shows different kind of analytics, but along here are kind of the different, you know, and if you hover over each one, it shows different things. But the big one that I would need are just like once I have my videos, this is where I can go see. So this is that test recording I created. I have a child popping in the background. But this is where I can see any videos I've created. And this is where I was saying, okay, so yeah, it's only if you kind of hover over a video, that's where you get those three dots I was talking about. So if I click on that, that's where I can get a shareable link or delete and do anything like that. And that's, you know, where if I kind of hover over any of these, this is where I can do the different, you know, if I wanted to view it on YouTube. But then also this is where I can just click create. This is another place where I can click to up. Basically, anytime you see that little video camera with the plus sign, that's where I would click to do the upload videos.
Maureen, can I stop you for a second?
Sure.
I'm so sorry. I feel like such a nag today.
No.
But
I'm here.
I did open another window and I went to YouTube, but I don't see that sign in button because I've never signed into an account. Can you show us how to actually make an account with the RSU?
I can try. Let's see. So what do you see up in the upper right-hand corner instead of sign in?
Oh,
Do you see a little picture of yourself in a circle, Twyla? On the top right-hand side? That's what I saw.
hang on.
And you know what I could do? Let's see here. Maybe I can have you share your screen, Twyla.
I see my initial T and it says Google account.
Do you want to share your screen, Twyla?
Okay. Well, that's a tall order on the fly, Maureen.
Sorry to put
Pressure, pressure.
this will be good
Okay.
practice. Go to the bottom of your
Okay.
screen.
Okay. I'm clicking share screen.
Yay!
And you want desktop?
Sure. Or yeah, desktop or just Chrome.
Okay. I click desktop.
Perfect.
Share.
Yep.
Open system preferences.
Oh, I guess you might have to. If this is your first time sharing, you probably just have to give your computer permission.
Okay, so now it just comes up Zoom. Like, do I click Zoom?
Yes, allow it.
I'm glad she's doing it, not me.
Okay, it says Zoom US will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit. So
Okay.
do I do it later or quit now?
I would say later because it doesn't need to. Well, no, I say quit now. Maybe.
Okay, now it says leave meeting, which I do not want to do.
Okay, never mind. I was just thinking if I could walk you through it, then I could show everyone else too.
Well, Jen had a point. Didn't she say something about my picture, which I don't have a picture? What did you say, Jen?
In
before?
the top right-hand corner, when I went to YouTube, there's a little picture of me. And when I clicked on it, it already had my RSU address, but I've never put anything in YouTube either. And I don't remember ever setting up myself.
Well, and
So
I was gonna say if
maybe click on your Twyla.
Well, I'm just clicking on it, and it doesn't really do. It says manage your Google account, and it says, and then another one says sign out.
okay. Well, if you go back to the try to screen share again and just don't do the, instead of quit now, do later. Click on the later option. So we can still see your screen. It might not record it, but that's fine. But just so everyone who's here can at least see. And I can try to.
Okay. Share screen. Desktop. Share. It does the same thing, Maureen. It just it goes through open system preferences, and then it has a list of, you know, Zoom.
Okay, so you can't share without quitting? Gotcha. Okay, is there someone else who wants to, or else I can, it's hard to kind of.
I think Vaughn is just dying to try.
No, he is not. You got that wrong, girl.
I'm sorry for taking up time. I just wanted to know.
We all want this. We're just waiting for you to do it.
I just wanted to know how to create a YouTube account. Like I think I can follow the steps that you just gave, but for me to get on YouTube to sign in, I don't even know how to do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna try something, and I did this actually.
Oh, Lisa, I can't hear Lisa.
Oh, Twyla, you can't hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay, so when you click on the T and it says manage your Google account, does it have your name and your RSU 39 email address?
Yes.
Then you are already logged in to YouTube with your RSU 39 email.
Okay.
Can you show her that, Maureen, that, you know, when you go to YouTube and in the upper right corner, there is your icon thing, and that's when you check to see if you're logged into a personal account or the RSU account.
Yep. And so, like, for me,
But I don't have that sign in button.
right, so you're already signed in, because the reason it says sign in for me is because I'm basically completely logged out of my RSU email for anything.
Oh.
I click over.
So
Like
I would go directly to the camera and start my business?
Basically.
Okay, well, that sounds very dangerous.
So if I click sign in, since I had just signed myself out on purpose, and then when I sign in, I will have that little M up there, just like you have. It sounds like I think.
Okay, I'm sorry. I understand that. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying, Lisa. So kind of and what I was basically saying though is that your menu, when you click on it, will look different and probably a lot shorter because you haven't uploaded any videos. Where mine, I already have a channel because I've already uploaded. Basically, your channel is just kind of you're holding your library of videos. But if I were uploading my first video, I could click here to click create, or under here, I think there's the option for you if you are brand new to this to create a channel, and you can click on that. So if I were to go back to this page, this is where I again still have that little option up here. And I have all my videos I have created are already down here, but if I were brand new, there wouldn't be anything down here yet, any videos yet. So
Is there a way to put somebody else's videos in my channel that I teach with all the time?
yeah,
Like I use the Jack Hartman videos, the Have Fun Teaching, you know, there's all kinds of different that I subscribe to.
oh,
Can
yeah.
can I put them in mine as well so that parents never have to leave my channel?
Yes, so that's a great question. So like here, you know, I went to, just to go back to kind of take a step back, I went back to that M, you know, and I clicked on your channel. I'm gonna go back to that. And so this is where I'm at. Or if I think I can just click, yeah. So anyway, so no, I can't click directly. I was gonna see if there's playlists down here, but there's not. So if I wanted to create playlists, which is basically exactly what you're talking about. So like I started putting these ones like today that I'm recording and the ones I recorded last week under professional development RSU 39. And like for our innovation club and a couple things I've done with innovation club stuff, we've got some crafts under here. So I've got 5 videos under there. And those ones are not ones I created. Those are ones I found. And same with this design thinking, there's like a Sesame Street video here. And so if I wanted, so I'll go to playlists. And these are ones I've already created. But if I wanted to create a new one, there's a few ways to do it. I will, let's see, let me go to library. Sorry, I don't want to confuse anyone, but I just need to see. And actually here, let's say I wanted, what you said someone Hartman, Jen? What was the name of the person?
Jack Hartman.
Jack Hartman?
Two N's.
Okay, so I'm gonna, look up Jack Hartman.
Yep.
And say I wanted to add this, the month of August. I, click on it just as if I'm just gonna watch it.
Month.
And, kind of the frustrating thing can be, is that if it's so this is one that has been designated as a video for kids. So like I can share it, but here is where I would try, this is where I could add it to a playlist, but I don't have that option because it's like kids. Let's see. Because playlists are nice because, yeah, then you can kind of have them all on your page. But what I would do, and like, I think you were in my Schoology thing last week, Jen. I would share this click copy. So, you know, get the link of whatever video I want to share. And in my Schoology page, oh, here actually. Or if you're using Google Classroom, I would put that video right in Schoology. So that really, and that's kind of what I do, is I don't typically have kids or parents going to my YouTube channel. It's just kind of where I keep all my videos, and then I share them in Google Classroom, or now that we're moving to Schoology, I'll be sharing them in Schoology. So I would go, this is just a class I've been kind of playing around with. In my materials, I have these different folders I've started, and say I wanted to share that in my Unit 2 folder. And so, as anyone who was at the Schoology training last week saw, there's, you know, different options for types of materials. The type I would create to share YouTube videos especially is a page. And I know I'm kind of going through this quickly, but because I'm realizing I was going to say playlists, but then I remember that playlists are only possible if the videos aren't designated as for kids, which of course most of the videos that you'd be wanting to share, hopefully probably all, would be designated as kids. So this is, you know, where I could say that and then insert YouTube. And actually right here in Schoology, I could do a search for YouTube videos. So I could actually just right within here, search for Jack Hartman. And click on the video I wanted to add. So say I wanted to do see it, say it, sign it. Import. And then it will, you know, that's just one, but I could do a bunch of them if I wanted to, just have a page of videos. So then when I click on here, it's right there. So then families don't have.
Will it show them a thumbnail or only the clickable Jack Hartman video thing? It's not going to show them because kindergartners can't read. So if they don't see the first picture, like if you go back one screen.
And unfortunately, it looks like this has been disabled by the video owner. So I've never seen that before. Oops, so that's not a good example. Sorry, what was your question again? So back on here, the thumbnail.
They would see the little icon of the video and not just the words that say Jack Hartman video. Because kindergartens can't read yet, so they wouldn't know which one to click on if they didn't see the picture of it.
Right. Well, and that's where, I mean, if under Unit 2, it would be just Jack Hartman videos, but I would also think they probably wouldn't be on here without a parent. So I don't know. It's tricky with the little ones. And cause and I haven't explored some like the YouTube Kids. I'm not sure if you could create a playlist in there if you know, if that would be easier. Or just going to Jack Hartman's page and maybe he has some playlists that you could share. Because his seems like it's kind of a pretty restricted, like you can't share it, you can't put it in a playlist, and you can't even embed it in YouTube. So, or probably even in like a Google Classroom or anything. So, unfortunately, there's not just like a straight rule of how to do that, because playlists can be a really good option. Like I was saying, like here, if I click on this playlist I've created, it shows over here
Writing's not that easy, but great.
all the different things I've put under this topic, design thinking. And, oh, you know what?
Grammarly can help.
For a sec.
This sentence
Sorry.
is grammatically correct.
I'm just thinking,
But
Hello, I'm Mark,
and I'm Murray.
and we're here to tell you about the word empathy.
Empathy, yes, empathy.
okay, and sorry, I'm just looking at this for a second because I'm realizing this one isn't a playlist. So I'm problem solving as I do this, and I don't want to get off on a, you know, and down a rabbit hole, but this is typically where I could add it to a playlist. So I'm not quite sure how I was able to, and now it doesn't show that option, but I might try to do a little troubleshooting with that and figure it out so I can at least in follow up when I send out this recording have a little more info. But those are really my best options, are either do a playlist if possible or embed within Schoology or Google Classroom if possible. Short of that, I'd say sending links directly to parents in email might be the best option. I don't know how much that helped, sorry.
Maureen, if you right click on the video, I think it allows you to copy the video URL. I don't know if that's helpful without if you right click on the actual video.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be the same thing as the share?
No, if you right click on the actual video, I was getting like a menu, a drop down menu where you could copy the video URL. I don't know if that helps, because then you could at least give them the link and it would open it up in the URL.
Yeah, which, yeah, so you can do that, but it's kind of the same thing with the share, or the share button is the same. That's the URL right there. But yeah, so that's kind of the.
Oh yeah, I see it.
You know what I mean? But it's the most clunky option, but it is an option to do that. But yeah, really it's really pretty straightforward to set up your YouTube account. And then what I was showing just about how to create a video or to post a video, that's that upload piece. I mean, I could get into the weeds of playlists and some of that if anyone wants, but your channel and YouTube Studio are the two that you would use just to upload your videos. And so like over here, playlists. And I can create, if I clicked on playlists under that YouTube Studio and wanted to create a new playlist, I'll try this and just see if it's possible. Hartman videos.
Does it make a difference, Maureen, if you were subscribed to his videos or not?
Maybe. So let me try that. So Jack Hartman. Subscribe. Oh, there we go. Save to playlist. So I'm definitely muddling through this little. I am by far not an expert on any of this. I'm doing my best. So great, and I don't know if that changed because I was subscribed or not, but let me unsubscribe just to see if that makes a difference. So if I can still save to playlist. I don't know why I didn't have that option when I was like in the video, over here, because that's
Monster Math
typically where
presents.
it is. But so some of it's, to me at least, not intuitive. I could subscribe and do it, but even like this, I can save to playlist. And you see here, this shows all the playlists I've created, or if I wanted to create a new one, I can do that. So I'll, do that. And, or I could save it to a few playlists if I wanted and say, I wanted to add another one. And it, down here in the left-hand corner, it keeps showing me added to Hartman videos. Add another one just for kicks. And then when I go back, and that's all you need to do, you just need to click it and close out. You don't need to click anything to save, it just does that. Then when I go back to my, oh, sorry, that's my home page. That's, I'll go to, sometimes I can't remember where to find everything. I guess I would recommend always going up to this circle up in the right hand corner, because that's where I always find it easiest to either go to your channel or your YouTube studio. There's so many things to click on these pages, so those are the two I would remember. Because so now if I went to let's go to YouTube studio, so I'll see again on the left hand side that playlist option. So then if I go down to playlists, I'll have this Hartman videos playlist, and right now it's got 3 videos in it. So if I were to click on it, and even here you see there's an option to share it, or I could click play all. So you can share the whole playlist, I guess is the point. If you wanted to share the whole playlist with families, again, via an email, or just as a link right within, that would be, I guess, a workaround, since it seems like I can't embed these Hartman videos. If I wanted to share it within, so say I went here to share, copied the link for, see, even within the link it says playlist. Click copy, and then if I went back, sorry, I'm jumping around here a little bit trying to find the right tab. My apologies. I would actually delete this since the videos weren't working in here. And I would just add a link, which would be under this add file, link, external tool. And again, parents would have to be helping, because I'm trying to add a link, there we go. There really, that I know there just isn't a way to do a picture. And then I'm just double checking if there's anything else I needed to add, and then add it like that. The only other thought I have, Jen, is if you had it, if you linked it like right to a Bitmoji classroom, that would be one option where you could have it kind of more in a picture. But if I click this, it will take me directly to that. So then, it would be a way to share it. But if I wanted to, within my Bitmoji classroom in Schoology, I'm again kind of getting down a rabbit hole, but I'll try to be quick with this, which I kind of shared the other day, and I'll go over tomorrow. But a way to do that would be in that kind of welcome folder. Or you could even just have a Bitmoji videos classroom or something where, if kids click around, click around on the different pictures within the Bitmoji classroom, or, you know, I could have this linked or this linked, or, you know, whatever I wanted linked, a little picture of Jack Hartman, linked to that playlist. So these are all linked to other things right now, but you can't, like, this is linked to a YouTube video actually. So it just pops me out to YouTube, to a video I created that I.
This is a quick tutorial.
So that would be, I guess, one option where you could at least have pictures for kids to click on instead of words. So now that I've confused the heck out of everyone, hopefully not, questions. Let's see, I see something in the chat box. Okay, you do have a YouTube account. It does. And Twyla, you found it. You can too, Vaughn. Yay. So yeah, Vaughn, if you're logged into your Google account, and just your regular RSU39 email account, if you go to YouTube, you probably should have.
Okay.
Because it's basically, once I'm signed in with my RSU39 account, it kind of is connected automatically to anything that I have through the district. So since I
Sounds good.
have a YouTube account through the district, whether you realize it or not. And, you know, like same with Schoology, that's now linked to our Google account. So I'm automatically logged into that. So kind of the same deal. So questions, clarifications, etc. I hope that was clear. I really tried the Zoom recording lessons. I really tried to break down bit by bit. The YouTube creating an account. Well, you all have an account, but kind of navigating the account. I know was a little. I jumped around a little bit more. My apologies. But if you just go to that upper right-hand corner, click on your initial. Go to your channel or YouTube Studio. Those are the only parts I would really worry about getting to know and getting used to and using. You can do everything really within those. Upload videos, create playlists, etc.
I think it's just a matter now of just trying some of this stuff out.
Yeah. I do a lot of trial and error, as you see. I'm doing it right in front of you. So a lot of it, that's how you can figure it out, is just trying it. Well, I will hang out if anyone has questions. I wasn't quite sure how long this would all take, or I can even help troubleshoot if anyone wants to screen share. And